Hey YouTube, it's Ray and Dan. We're back.
Yay.
And we're putting these 1911s back together. I just got done cleaning the 1945's 1911, and we're gonna get everything put back together. Let me go ahead and show you everything that we got laid out here.
Also, if you missed the disassembly of this, click here.
Where?
Here.
Right there?
Yeah, right there.
On your face?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Right on my face. Right there.
All right, right here we have the 1911, the one that's stamped property of the United States. The Colt 1911. Over here we have the ATI 1911. Okay. Right here, if you click on the annotation for this weapon, you'll be able to see us review, fire, and have fun with this weapon as well. So that one there we're going to take and put off to the side. All my weapons are cleared, by the way, just everybody knows.
You sure this one is?
Dude, there might be one in the there might be one in the chamber. Nope, it's clear. Okay, so that weapon is no longer clear. Oh, I can't believe you did that. Okay, so all right, there's our project. We got two 1911, one Colt, one ATI, and we're going to go ahead and reassemble these two weapons, show everybody how it's done. Now, by no means am I considered a professional. I just have good experience with firearms and their disassembly, reassemblies.
Also, by no means am I considered a professional, nor do I know anything about anything, ever.
Yeah, that's why I'm here to help him. And you guys, help you learn something about how to put these things back together. And let's get to it. I'm going to reposition the camera.
Please try this at home.
Yes. Okay, here we go. Reposition of the camera. Let me get out my light here.
Seriously, why did they let me out of my helmet? I don't
You should be wearing that helmet all the time. All right, is that good? No, let's bring it forward just a little more.
Why don't we make
there we go.
Hold the
Perfect.
camera?
Because then, you know, the intern's not as steady as my tripod is.
Oh,
he'd be bouncing all around, and then, you know, post-processing, After Effects and all that crap is, even with that, it's going to be impossible to correct.
Why are we still talking about this?
You brought it up.
Shut up.
No. Okay, so let's go ahead and separate our two weapons here. Here's our line.
You really dodged a bullet there.
Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is tools that you will need. Flathead screwdriver. Make sure it is appropriate size to what you're going to be screwing in or screwing out. Okay, so flathead screwdriver. Make life easier for when you get to the sear pin assembly. You want a set of tweezers of some sort. I actually have a set of surgical clamps that I like to use.
So Ray, how much did you steal those for?
Free. So these work absolutely great with the curve in them.
There's a surgeon out there somewhere going, well, shit.
I left that in somebody. Also, you're going to want to have a punch of some sort. Now, not that type of punch. Okay. What I use is what I have available. So I actually have this fairly decent set of security Torx bits that work really well for the situation of what I'm doing right now. So no, they're not exactly proper, but they do get the job done. And they are very soft metal, so they're not going to do any damage to the firearm. Okay, let's...
One thing I do want to say.
Yeah.
A lot of joking around and stuff, but this is very serious, and everybody should be very careful dealing with any sort of firearms. Don't point that at me, please.
Well, you're talking. It's very important.
Well, I'm just saying that we joke around, we have a good time,
Oh,
but
we do.
this is very important to be very safe with any firearm you handle.
Good advice. All right, here we go again. Reposition this camera one more time.
Oh, here we go.
There we go. All right, guys, let's separate our two firearms. So take your parts to the right-hand side. I'll take mine to the left hand.
It looks like a cucumber.
Cucumber. Okay. All right, we're going to start with the frame. So we're waiting for Dan to go ahead and clear out his parts.
I'm being careful.
Okay.
This gun's probably worth more than my life.
No, I'm willing to say that this gun
That gun definitely is worth more than my life.
worth more than.
We got
life.
that gun, the gun that he's reassembling. We got that gun valued and appraised today at between $1,500 and $2,000.
Yeah, so it is a very expensive piece of property I handle here, and it's not mine. That's the best part about this.
And all you YouTube experts, feel free to argue with us. We
Feel
don't
free
really
to
care.
criticize me if you see something that I'm doing that exactly isn't correct, because, hey, I am not an expert. Let me know. Put it in the comments below, and we'll respond. All right, so you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's see your frame.
It's a little fat. I've been working on my frame though, like doing push-ups, sit-ups. Oh, that frame.
Let's see your 1911 frame. Okay. We're going to...
He tries to be serious.
First thing we're going to be putting back in is the actual trigger. So, grab your trigger.
That's this one, all right.
You want to place this in the firearm with the beveled edge
Going up towards the gun.
up towards the weapon. So go ahead and slide that in. There's a set of grooves inside there. I don't know if you can see them on here that actually fits into.
That's actually pretty
Right
simple.
down in there.
Now, on this weapon, this is a newer weapon.
Yes, it is tight.
It is going to be pretty tight, and it is going to, you're going to have to put some force to get that in there.
Just, sensible force anyways. All right, so we got that in there. Next is going to be...
Use the hammer.
Don't use a hammer, yeah. Next is going to be the magazine release.
And that was... Okay, that bad boy.
That one, yep. From the right-hand side of your frame, you're going to drop that into its corresponding hole, which is right there. Okay, should go in all the way. Now, with our small screwdriver over there, hang it before you do yours.
All right.
Okay, you're going to hold the magazine release pretty much so it's flush, roughly. Okay, you may have to fluctuate it a little bit either way to make sure that this piece lines into its groove in here.
Okay.
You can see the screw on that. We're going to turn that in a clockwise direction until it aligns in its groove and stops.
Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
Precisely. Now, mind you, be gentle, as these screws are very susceptible to stripping. So, there we go. That one's in, and it immediately clicked back into place.
Oh, cool.
Now, our assembly is properly in place for the magazine release. Now, the magazine release also holds in the trigger.
Well, that was pretty simple.
With that in there, the trigger will not come out.
Oh, that spring is stiff. Good.
Good?
Yep, I'm
All
good.
right, let's move on to the next part, which is going to be our Sear Assembly. So that's two parts. That's going to be this one and this one, precisely. With this here, we're going to take it flat edge up.
Okay.
Okay, you got a doubled edge and you got a flat edge.
I see that.
Let's strike that. Let's go flat edge down.
Okay.
Okay.
Make up your mind, man.
With the curved portion, the inset curved portion here, I'm going to point that out with...
Instructions not clear, head stuck in washing machine.
Yes. With this portion down, we're going to set that on top of the other piece and just let it sit there.
Oh, okay, cradle like that?
Cradle,
Gotcha.
exactly, okay? Now, this is where the tweezers or where your forceps or whatever these things are called come in very handy. Now, my particular pair has a set of locks on them.
That's got a flat edge, right?
Yeah, that'll lose, but you're holding onto it wrong.
Okay. Well, that's
We're going to grab this portion right there.
Okay.
Okay, so set that back on there
Gotcha.
and grab it from that edge right there. Basically, we're holding it just like this.
Okay.
Okay? We're going to take this assembly now. Inside of your 1911 frame, you see up here, I'm going to point with this. There's a opening right there, corresponds with this hole here.
Show me now. Sorry.
That hole right there.
That hole right there.
Okay, on the bottom side, it slides in
Okay,
right
I
there.
see that.
We're gonna take this and slide it in right there, and it's just gonna sit there.
Round side up. I
Okay.
can't see what you're showing the camera.
Yep, round side up.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna set it in there just like that, and we're gonna leave it there just like that.
Oh, that's simple. Okay.
Okay.
Like that?
Yeah, just like that. Now, my set I left clamped on there. I'm gonna show you guys out there a little bit here. This pin that we're about to put in can be a little tricky. You got two parts to actually go through.
He gets all the good tools. I can't do that.
I'll let you borrow this one a second. So we're going to grab the sear pin. Okay, it's the small one with the lip.
Gotcha.
Okay, the lip goes in, we're going to insert it from the left side of the frame. Okay, now my left and right is assuming that you're holding your weapon pointing away from you. Left side is over here, right side is over here.
It's also the side with that large hole there.
That too. Okay.
That right there.
Yes. We're going to insert this into the sear pin hole. Now, the reason why I left my forceps on there, and y'all can use your tweezers, is you can manipulate the sear inside of there to line up your pinholes.
Oh boy. You can also manipulate it with the trigger. I'm seeing right now.
We'll take our sear, our pin, and insert her in and just manipulate until she goes through.
There's a sex joke there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure you found it.
Yeah, dude, check it out. You can manipulate that with the trigger if you don't have forceps.
There we go. And it just drops right in, okay? If you are having to put any type of force on that at all, you're doing something wrong, something is out of alignment. Take it back apart and make sure everything is properly in place. That should basically just fall out. If I tip this over, give it a whack, that pin just falls out, okay? So, again, just wiggle it, jiggle it, bounce it around, it will go in. Just, that's simple. Okay, so with that piece in there, we're going to leave the frame sitting on its right-hand side, and we're going to grab our next component, which is going to be our hammer assembly.
Oh, hammer assembly.
Okay, hammer assembly has this, we'll call it a tail. Why not? It looks like a tail. Okay, we're going to grab it pretty much just like this.
It looks like a seahorse, people.
A seahorse. Okay, we'll grab it like this.
Yeah, it's some
all right.
effects for that. Yeah.
I probably can. And we're going to insert it into the hammer pin slot. Okay, hammer up.
The top hole above that big hole?
Yes, the top hole.
Okay.
This one right there.
Okay.
Okay. Then we're going to take our hammer pin, our hammer assembly pin. It's the fatter one that has the lip on it. If you feel that, it definitely has a ledge, okay? And again, we're going to drop this down in. It should pretty much just fall into place when...
Hey, when do we put the spring in?
That's coming up soon.
All right.
Okay? With that in there, there we go. All right, so again, that should just pretty much just fall into place, just like that.
Cool.
All right? Now, we're going to go ahead and put in the spring assembly. So take your tail here, hold it up out of the way.
Okay.
And your spring. Now the spring only goes in one way. If you see this ledge right here, this ledge goes into that slot there. Okay?
Gotcha.
Easiest way I found to do it is to actually just hold it from this uppermost spring. Put this ledge, this piece in first, underneath this ledge here. That ledge there.
I actually got it
Okay.
already.
And just let it drop into place. And that's all there is to it. All right? Next piece we're going to put on is the safety. Or one of the safeties anyways. You had it. Yep, that one.
So.
Okay?
All right.
Take your tail and put it down on top of the spring. There you go. Take your assembly and set it on there, making sure you catch the spring on the side and detent it down in all the way. This one's loose, his is not, so my spring came loose. There we go. We'll hold that in place there.
So I'm going to need to put some pressure down on that safety?
Just a little bit to get it into place.
And I need to line those holes.
Line those holes.
Now, I think I've done mine wrong.
Now, best thing I found is to hold it similar to this, where you can keep pressure on this, because the next portion to go in is actually the
All right, you got
the frame safety.
Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. Something that again, this is my first time ever assembling a gun.
Yep.
The thing that I had a problem with that you didn't mention is this little thing, this little teeny tiny tail here. Mm-hmm. Got to get that really aligned. If you mentioned that,
right down there in the center of that, pointing my forceps. You see what I call the tail. It's probably not actually called the tail.
I'm also an idiot, so there's that.
Make sure she's aligned in there. If you're either on the either left or right hand side, you will not get a full seat on the safety there. So holding that in place, we're going to take our nope, not that one. This one. Our safety lever.
Safety lever.
And before we do that, you are actually ahead of me, and I'm glad you are because I neglected to put this in.
I was hoping you wouldn't catch me and you'd look
This
at the
spring
for a change.
goes in right here.
Yeah.
And it drops her down in all the way.
That's going to incite so much YouTube praise.
Probably.
I can't wait.
It's going to be excellent.
It is going to be epic. Epic Rage. I am a big fan of Epic Rage. You should have seen the Minecraft griefing videos I watched yesterday. It's so amazing.
All right, let's get this thing back together again.
Yeah, because that spring is going to have to catch on the safety. See, this really is simple. It's a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be. I am catching on really quick, and again, I have never seen the inside of a gun before. So, it's really simple.
All right, now, the way that I found best to do this is to run your hammer to the rear.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got that
That
there.
opens up the internal areas of the
Is my hammer
safety.
supposed to be
We can put
catching?
this in the same way. Mine is because I got spring tension on it.
Gotcha. All
Okay.
right.
So carefully, easily insert this in. You don't want to, again, you don't want to use a lot of force.
And we're inserting where that little notch out, that
Yep,
thing is flat, right?
Yes. Now, once you get to a certain point, on the bottom side, here I'm going to flip the weapon over in a manner where hopefully everybody can see it. You can see our second pin here has to line up and go into that opening there. Now, before you go any further, we're going to need our small screwdriver again.
I'm still not where you're at. Hang on.
That one's a little awkward because I
This doesn't
think,
look like it's matched. I may have done something.
no, I think that one got bent. So
Oh,
actually,
no.
mine's in a safe place. Let me see that one.
Yeah, here you go. Remember, you took that apart, so it's all your fault.
Let's flip this way. Let's give her.
Oh, so that's supposed to come up a bit, or? Always point the gun at yourself, folks.
Thank you. I gotta readjust this.
You're welcome.
Oh, look at that! You broke it. You broke my tripod.
No, I didn't.
Oh, dude.
I'll
Let me
work on
fix
this.
this real quick. What is this thing
fault.
pointing? Oh my god. Yep, you really broke it this time. Oh my goodness. Oh hell, what did you do?
I didn't do
I just gotta tighten
Stop.
it down. There we go.
If I cuss, he'll complain because he has to do too much Sony Vegas work.
Lots of Sony Vegas work. There we go.
Yeah, this is.
All right, let me
jacked,
see it.
Did this just turn into a break video?
No, God, I hope not. Not with this.
Oh my God, Josh would just be.
Josh would kill you.
You?
You.
You're the one that disassembled that.
Mm-hmm.
That particular part, yes.
I'm doing Dave's
Pull up the video.
1911. You were doing.
Pull up the video. You're like, no, give it to me. He does that too.
No, I don't. He lies.
Okay. Can it be fixed?
There we go.
Oh God. Can I breathe?
Yes.
All right.
Breathe, sigh of relief. Okay.
That is by far the worst part of this entire gun. This one little weenus of a freaking piece.
All right, so we need our small screwdriver.
Satan's elbow.
Okay, and we're going to use it to detent this detent spring. Okay, and then we'd be able to push that in the rest of the way. All right, just like that.
Oh, I see what you did there.
All right, so you want to have a go at it?
I don't. Yeah, let me. All right, so.
Easier to hold this way.
Yep, I see now. And then do it up from the top.
There you go, and then just push it in. Oh, hang on a second here. Let me see.
It's mostly. I
Just
got
gotta
some.
be
I was just
in the up
being
safe
careful.
position with the triggers back.
Again,
Well,
just
you
being
got it.
careful.
Pressure there. Let me see that screwdriver, please. Thank you.
See, this is what he did on the last video.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that one takes a lot of finagling. There we go.
There we go. Okay. All right.
Should we test to make sure that the safety operates at this point, or
You're not going to be able to. You don't have spring tension on your hammer.
Okay.
Okay. So. There we go. All right.
Looks like a Nazi gun again.
All right. Next piece to go in is our plate that goes here, which is going to be this piece.
That piece right there.
Okay. Align the grooves. Slide it up. Now, only go a portion of the way in because now
Fat side or skinny side going in first? Skinny
skinny
side,
side
right?
goes in first. Yes.
I'm telling you guys, I am really
Make
that
sure that your trigger pin spring, trigger spring rod, that's a better term for it, trigger spring rod, okay. This is going to actually align into that detent there. That detent is a spring.
Okay,
So make sure
provides
that
the
that's,
pressure.
yes, that provides your spring pressure. Make sure that that aligns in there. If you can see it moving slightly. Make sure that that aligns before you push it up and on there.
Oh, that's hard to do. Don't take it from me.
Okay, so now it's on there all the way. A little bit of pressure.
This from me.
A little bit of pressure, and it should go together.
Yeah, that's the
There we
problem
go.
I've got right now.
Okay, now, because it is such a good spring, it releases it back out. All right,
Yeah.
Hold.
Take it from me.
yep, let me get mine in there. Hold that in first, okay?
Oh, okay.
Then go ahead and you're gonna run, make sure you have your pin ready. Okay? This one, from the left side of the firearm, is where the indentation is going to be showing. So you want to put the flat end in first, okay?
I may or may not have broken it.
They have it ready to put in there. Go ahead and run that piece forward. And
Still got a little
drop it in, okay? Now I've already got it started, so it's just sitting there. Now we're going to set that on the side and take a look at the other 1911. Let's have it.
I got it caught in the washing machine.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, that does not want to go. When all else fails, beat the crap out of it.
No, never do that.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a little bit
Haha, break free, CLP.
break free CLP, a little lubricant. Where did my lubricators go?
This production brought to you in part by Winchester.
Winchester.
Sammy and Dean. He doesn't get the supernatural reference. Shun the non-believer.
You kidding me? I love Supernatural. That's a great show. You guys have a lubricant on there. All right.
See, now that I've mentioned a popular TV show, we can put it in the tags.
You might be onto something.
Ah.
Oh, I see the problem.
What did I do? See, I told you.
Call me banana.
All right, see it. There's more Sony Vegas words for you.
Okay. The problem that we ran into was that our spring back here, our triple springs, came out of its
Oh, did it?
socket that it goes in.
Oh,
So we
so
need
I
to go
gotta
ahead
pull the
and
whole- Oh no!
yeah, we need to take it all back apart again and get that in there correctly.
All right, let's cut because they've already seen this.
I'll just edit it out.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I'll just edit this.
Paint me yellow and call me banana.
I am so lied about editing that out. Oh, you are a bad person.
I have a tiny.
Banana.
I'm not lying.
You are so not right.
Dude, outtakes. Oh no, did I break it?
There we go.
What did I do wrong?
You didn't do anything wrong. It's just that the spring just came loose.
Okay, so I put it in this little thing here, and it just seats right up in that thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the way I have it.
Yep.
It just unseats?
It came off, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes it happens.
That probably happened when I was trying to get that.
It's probably none of your fault. It
Or
probably
back
happened when
of
you
it.
were trying to get this on there.
Okay. Yeah, dude, outtake.
See how much nicer that went in there?
Yeah. Really do. Alright, cool. Well, let me do that part.
We're just going to make sure it's going to go together first.
Oh, yeah. That's already much better than it used to be. This is spring. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, here you go.
Alright.
Alright, so guys, we figured out what the problem was, and just a brief overview. His spring had came out of its seat right here, so we got that back into place, and he's going to have another go at getting his backplate on.
Yeah, evidently when I was putting the safety on, that thing with the 3 things on it,
The spring?
yeah, that one, it didn't do the right thing. Ah, see, that's already much
Alright, make sure
easier.
that you're...
I'm in the
Trigger
thing,
spring rod.
I'm in the finger.
Yep, beautiful. Alright, grab your pin.
Alright.
From the left-hand side, make sure that you're... Hang on, make sure
This
your
is the
indentation...
left-hand side.
Make sure your indention's in correctly.
goes in first, right?
Nope. The
Ah, see?
indentation goes in last.
I know, I just wanted them to hear that. That's oh, I can't cuss on this, can I?
That's okay. Here's an easier way that I found to do this.
Prayer?
Alright. Take your pin and set it in its initial hole.
Ah!
Let it just sit there.
And
Make
beat it with a
sure
hammer.
that you hold this in. Okay,
oh,
make
it's
sure
doing
that
that.
your spring is aligned. And then push that in and press down on your pin at the same
Gotcha.
time until it grabs.
And then I can just beat
Okay?
it with a hammer.
Then, not with a hammer, but we're going to actually use one of... We're going to use 2 of them. One for you, one for me.
What do you think?
2 of our punches inside the indentation. Stop punching me. And a mallet of some sort. Me, I'm using the back handle of my screwdriver. It works just as well. Lightly tap this down in until it's flush.
Oh, baby.
Once it's flush, yeah, you got spring tension now.
Yep, sure do.
Once it's flush,
I may have crapped myself.
flush on this side, the indentation that was in the center of the pin will be lined up properly. So that's in correctly now. And just to test it, so far so good. All right, we are...
Maybe I should do.
All right, let's go ahead and set aside our frame. Our frame is complete for the time being, okay? So we're gonna set that aside, and we're gonna bring the slide in now.
By the way, cut some of the stupider stuff out of here for blooper reel.
Like what you just said?
Yeah, or the
No.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're working with a slide. We're gonna grab our firing pin, Okay, guys, little camera mishap there, had to reset, and we're continuing where we left off. We are currently on the firing pin, putting the slide back together. Dan already had his done. We thought we were still filming. We actually had this almost all completely put back together, so I had to take it back apart so I can show you where we left off.
Yeah, because somebody looked up and the camera was blinking.
But it was turning off. Okay, so fire pin. We drop our spring inside the fire pin housing here. Okay, we take our firing pin and insert it inside as well. Now you notice that this goes down nicely. Sometimes it catches, but that is the actual firing pin catching on the small opening of the other side where it protrudes to strike the primer. Now we have the firing pin backplate. Backplate. that we're going to be inserting. Now, it can only go in one way, and one way only. Dropped it.
The right way.
The right way. You notice there is a long edge, a short edge, a flat edge, and a rounded edge, okay? And that corresponds to the actual weapon. You have a flat edge, you know, a long edge, you got a short edge, and you got a round edge. So we're going to insert it in that manner there, holding the firing pin down until it catches the lip. Now it's going to hold itself in place. Then we're going to take our punch, because it's just easier for me to use a punch. And we'll take and depress it down the rest of the way and slide the block in. There we go, until it holds it down entirely, and then just clip it into place. Okay, so that's the firing pin. So he's now in place. All right.
Let that bake at 350, and wow, it's done.
All right, next is going to be the barrel. We take the barrel with the this part here, quite sure what it's called, but make sure it's in the down position.
I'm pretty sure it's called a doohickey.
A doohickey, that works. Insert as such
Yeah.
until it seats into place. Once there,
You said it needs to be in the down position? Does it matter where this is when you
it
insert
matters that you got the barrel in backwards.
I know that. I'm just asking. I didn't know that. But
Yeah, that should be in the down position.
okay.
So, there you go. Yep, that way.
This way?
And push it until it locks into place. Okay, good.
Are you sure it was in backwards?
That's it. That's how she goes.
Oh, I had mine turned the wrong way.
Yeah, you
Okay.
just turned around. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and put in our barrel
Why is this locked in place?
shim. I'm going to call it a shim. Shim works because it takes up all that slack. So insert our shim, making sure that the notch lines up into the barrel.
Well, you can't get it in there otherwise.
Right. And then turn it all the way around to the other side until it doesn't turn any further.
So with this part on your left, it should be facing you. The half moon thing there
Right.
should be facing you, right?
Right. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and grab our spring, our buffer rod,
That's okay. I see what you're talking about.
and our spring cap.
And that's that. Okay.
Okay. Take your, as he calls it, doohickey, and position it up. Take your buffer with the
Crescent.
half moon crescent piece. That's going to actually be placed against the barrel.
Makes sense.
All right.
Let me see which. Okay.
Actually, you know what's a little easier for you sometimes? Take your spring and actually put it on the buffer first.
Okay. Spring on the buffer.
Spring on the buffer.
Gotcha. And then feed that spring through here.
Feed the spring through,
All right.
and then sit the buffer with the half moon directly on the barrel and against the doohickey.
Okay. And then.
Okay. Now we're going to hold it with our finger, turn it upside down, so that the doohickey is hanging directly upside down. This here should be pretty much in that position when you're holding it.
Oh. Okay. Hang on.
Okay.
All right.
So we're holding it like this.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking our frame.
Oh.
This is your frame. Here's my frame. Okay. And we're going to put the frame on. Now making sure you're holding the buffer and springs assembly in place. Drop your pull your hammer back.
Okay.
There
You gotta
go.
pull your hammer back before you put the slide on.
It helps. And then
Oh,
just
it
slide
went
it
all the way
on
back.
all the way. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. If you don't catch this, you probably never will. The slide will go all the way back on its own. And for now, that's okay. All right? What you're going to notice is, hope you can see it on here, that doohickey, as he called it, okay, on the barrel is sliding back and forth through that opening there. I don't know if you can see it on there.
Show me now.
Okay, see it right there?
Yes. Ah.
So basically, what we're going to do now is take
I got it
our,
Or this thingy here.
yeah, this thingy, or the slide release, okay, and align the holes and gently. Now this is where a lot of scratches happen
Make sure to
to
mention
the slide and to the frame. So carefully.
Hang on, mention that which side of the gun it goes on. I know it sounds stupid.
You're right. You're right. Well, actually, on this particular 1911 and most 1911s, this is a right-handed gun, so the slide release is usually on the left side of your frame. Okay. We're going to insert that in.
Okay.
Now, gently, carefully, make sure that it's in the pretty much the position where it's going to rest finally. Because if
make sure
you don't,
it into the doohickey.
if you get it down, now this is where a lot of people make the mistake and actually scratch their weapon. Okay. Align the half moon on the slide with the half moon for the catch. Okay. And then using your thumb to hold it, you see I have a lot of space there. I'm not actually touching the frame with this part yet because this part is actually
give them a close-up.
Really
of that
bad.
Half moon line up. Like line them up. Give them a close-up.
Okay. Well, you see
It took me a second to catch that.
that notch there is the notch that the catch hits when the slide's back. Okay. And then right there we have a half moon. Let's see if we can see it well on that camera.
That's
it's
supposed
there.
to be catching this.
We're going to line that with that opening there, pretty much. Okay? Don't worry about what spring.
That's right.
Yes, it will eventually. Okay? We're going to take our detent tool. Right, detent tool.
Okay.
We're actually going to take our slide release lever. And again, place it into position, making sure you go through the doohickey, as you called it, on the barrel. And then place it into position. Now, like I said, be careful here because you can very easily scratch both your slide and your. Actually, you can see it somewhat here. It has happened to this already.
It's happened to this one too.
Yeah, it's happened to that one too. Yep, sure has. And then just push it down into place. Usually, yours clipped in nicely. Mine did.
Yeah.
There we go. And it just clips it back into place. Pull your. As you can see, I missed the barrel. Now, had that spring, had this.
I did it right.
You did it right. I missed it. Had this actually caught that, this would not have happened. So, I failed on that.
Miserable.
I failed. And now I got a little catch here. There we go. Now let me do it the correct way.
By the way, we do have an eBay store. Trader 701 has an eBay store. We do buy, sell, and trade on eBay.
Yep. Now,
So check us out.
once you have that actually in position, the slide will not come forward again, okay? It will not come forward. So now we're actually going to put on our spring, okay? So weapon up, as such.
I figured it out.
Yes, weapon up. Take your spring cap, goes on top of the spring, and press that down inside and rotate the shim until it locks into place right there. Okay? Now at this point in time, we're going to do a functions check. Okay, before we put the grips on, that way there, in case we have to take anything apart again, it's easy to do.
Yeah, that would have been smart, huh?
So, functions check. We have 2 safeties to check. We have a trigger to check. We have the action to check. So first, we're going to check the action. The slide operates, functions properly. The hammer stays locked back. We're going to go ahead and fire it.
Action is Bruce Willis.
And it fires. We're going to go ahead and, while holding the trigger, we're going to charge it, slide it back. Listen for the reset when you let go of the trigger. Okay, and then fire it once more. Okay, good, that works. We're going to manually lock the trigger back. Not the trigger, but the hammer. And without hitting the back safety, we're going to pull the trigger and make sure that it doesn't fire, and which is functioning properly. Okay. Secondly, we're going to go ahead and use the frame-mounted safety. You have to drop your hammer. There you go. Place it on safe. Now, while holding the back plate safety, we're going to pull the trigger. and it does not fire. So all safeties are functioning properly. The action's functioning properly. The weapon is in working condition. Now we'll go ahead and put on the hand grips.
Yay. It was a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be, though.
It was.
I mean,
Paint me yellow and call me banana.
or I'm sorry, a bleeping mess.
A bleeping mess.
That's more Sony work for you.
I will replace that with a banana.
Well, in their perspective, you already have.
Yeah, and you're right.
Ah.
See, they already heard the banana
I'm not even
part.
stoned, and I thought of that. I don't get stoned. Trader 71 does not condone drug use.
Hey,
I love that sound.
cha-ching! Somebody out there in internet webs and world
Found an awesome product on our eBay
found
site.
something on eBay from us that they wanted.
Also, you can check out trader701.com to get an idea of what we do.
Yeah, trader701.com. Check us out there.
This is just hobby. We don't deal in guns.
No, Trader 701 doesn't deal in guns. The reason why we're doing this today is because, well, we do actually choose to defend ourselves. These weapons are self-defense weapons, believe it or not, that we keep here with us at the stores and on our persons. I'll show you my personal protection in just a moment here. This one belongs to one of the owners.
Trojan man.
This one belongs to Dave.
And this one belongs to the other owner,
This one
Josh.
belongs to the other owner, Josh. Okay, those are their personal weapons. And then you've seen my Smith & Wesson SD40 at the beginning of the video. Let's flip these all around and make them all look good. Let me have that 1911, because
No.
this list looks cool.
No.
Okay. I'll
Damn
put this
it.
one right here. Look at that.
So OCD.
That is, even I can't get, well, you come back at it this way a little bit. Here we go. Look at that. Oh, yeah, that's going to get out of the way. Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the conclusion of the reassembly of the Colt 1911 A1 and the ATI 1911. We hope you guys learned something about these weapons. They're really nice. Excellent.
I know I did.
Really?
I had something to say. I'll take real, bro.
All right, so again, thanks for watching Trader 701 Tech Black Hub.
What was it you were calling these again? Like you had a term for it in the video. I forget.
A punch.
Y'all have a good one. Oh, are we filming?
Yeah.
Crap.
All right, guys, part 2 of the video log now. We're in the assembly phase. We're on the slide.
Tell them we had to stop it. They didn't know we were
Yeah,
done with part 1 yet.
Yeah, part 1. Well, it's all actually going to be one single part.
Exactly, and this is
It's-
going to be an
yeah.
outtake, so start over again.